Hey everybody, how is it going? It is your pal, Sal here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first video of our Whitney Houston Discography Journey. So hello everybody, I couldn't be more excited to be here today. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you aren't new, well, hey again guys. So like you guessed from this title and from what I just said, for the month of February, or Whitney if you will, I am going to be going through every single one of Whitney Houston's studio albums, not including the soundtrack albums for The Bodyguard and, what's the other one? The Preacher's Wife soundtrack. We will be skipping those because those are not studio albums, as well as the Holiday album. But also, just a point of reference, I do know the Holiday album and I do know the Bodyguard soundtrack, obviously. So for the purpose of this month, I thought, with it being 2022, guys, it has been 10 years on February 11th since Whitney Houston has passed away. And my thought with this, I was like, well, how do we still keep her memory alive, as if anybody could ever forget Whitney? And I was like, you know what, for this month, it's all going to be about her. I think we should go through, listen to all the songs that we know and love, and some that maybe people don't remember as much, and it'll be a whole new journey for me. I'm excited to go through and listen to all her music, the album-wise stuff. And like I said, I couldn't be more excited to do that. Whitney is an artist who has been in my life for a long time. I'm going to share little stories with each song that I do know, and I'll just maybe give you guys a clue as to where I'm at in my Whitney journey. So like I said, today we are tackling her debut album, which is called Whitney Houston, just Whitney Houston. And it was released on February 14th of 1985, so that is almost 37 years ago. And it did hit the #1 spot on the Billboard 200, and there were a total of 8 singles for this album. Now, shockingly enough, the first 3 songs are not songs I've ever heard of, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting to think that the first 3 weren't the biggest hits. But the first single was called Hold Me, which hit #46. The second single was called There For Me, which did not chart, but it seemed that it was only released in the UK, so that was about all I could find. The third single was Thinking About You, which hit #10 on the US Hot R&B hip-hop songs. Now the fourth single is where shit got real, with You Give Good Love, which hit #3. The fifth single, All At Once, was #2 in Belgium at the VRT Top 30. The sixth single was Saving All My Love For You, which hit #1. The seventh single was How I Know, which hit #1. And the 8th single was Greatest Love of All, which hit #1. So going through this album, we have 10 songs we're going to listen to today. 5 of them I already know, so that puts me in good standing in a little bit at least. So I think the best thing to do is to get started to go on this Whitney journey together. We begin with track #1, which, yes, is a song I do know. It is one of my mom's favorite Whitney songs, You Give Good Love To Me. It's not, the to me isn't there, but that's basically what she says. I love the beginning. Wait. Yes, you have.
Always on the run.
Okay.
It took some time for me to see.
Here we go. Okay. Let's go.
Love to me, baby. So good. Take this heart of mine into your hands. You give good love to me. Perfect love. The kind that girls like
Girls. I love that vocal. She really went in for that.
Baby, you give good love. Our love is here to stay, to stay. Baby, you give good love to me. Never too much, will never be so good. Take this heart of mine. You give good love, you give good love, darling, it's you give good love.
I love the backing vocals. I would have loved to have seen them doing that in the studio. I love that. Okay, that was You Give Good Love to Me. Now, what can I say? What a great song to open your debut album with. It amazes me that this was the fourth single, that they weren't like, maybe, well, you know, I wouldn't have picked it for the first, because there's a few better tracks on this album. Not to say that this one isn't good, but I'm kind of like interesting that it was the fourth pick. Weird. So something I never picked up with on this song, and there was a lyric that I want to say, never stopping, I was always searching for the perfect love, the kind that girls like me dream of. Now you're here like we've been before, and you know just what I need. So that was interesting, but then right here where she says, now I can stop looking around, it's not what love's all about. Our love is here to stay, now you're here, you've been here before. Oh, Whitney. Wait, where was the other lyric I was thinking of? Interesting, like, because towards the end they just start with the backing vocals come in, they're like, you give good. I mean, come on. I mean, there's so many, and what's interesting too about Whitney is that every time you listen to a Whitney Houston song, you notice a certain inflection in the way she'll do a saying or a vocal, and you're like, I didn't notice that before. She sounds beautiful on this. I think what stuck out for me most though was the backing vocals. I never really picked up on how fun and cute they are. I mean, this song is iconic. I mean, it's so good, and we stand it. Track number 2, the first song I do not know. This is Thinking About You. And this was the third single. Huh, okay. Huh. Huh? Oh, no. Okay. We're getting a little sexy Whitney. Oh my god. That man in the background. This is so weird. Oh, like a river of wine intoxicate my mind. Oh, let's go down. Okay.
It might be pouring rain.
Let's go down. Okay.
It might be pouring rain, but like a fool insane.
I love sexual Whitney. We love it. Intoxicate my mind. That was Thinking About You. And I do want to see something real quick. So like I said, this was the third single. Oh, interesting. So, you know, with this being a single, my main takeaway with this is that I think it's an interesting track. I like how it has this very dark sound, like we're kind of in the shadows, like I'm thinking about you, but I can't really get to you almost. And there are some interesting lyrics here where was it? Like a river of wine intoxicate my mind. I'm thinking about you. It might be pouring rain, but like a fool insane, I run to you. I didn't even pick up on that. I run to you, ha ha ha, little did she know. I'm just a lovesick fool, I got this thing for you. So there are cool elements to it. Now my main takeaway is that it's 5 minutes and 24 seconds. I didn't think it had to be that long. And listen, that's not even long in the scheme of how some things can be. Because, I mean, keep in mind, like, You Give Good Love to Me is almost 5 minutes, and I wouldn't cut a second out of it. But this, I was kind of like, maybe we could have cut a little bit. What's interesting is that, again, for the single release, it wasn't edited, according to what I'm finding. So I'm like, interesting. Oh, there's an extended dance version of this. Oh, no, there is a single version. There is, and then they cut it down to 4 minutes and 3 seconds. I'd be curious to hear that and see if it makes me like it a little more, because I did like it. It feels like a little bit of an outlier so far, because it's very different. But there are elements of it that I did really, really like. So I'd listen to it again, but I'm also really curious to hear the single version. Track number 3, Someone for Me, it was the second single that didn't chart in the UK. This sounds very 80s. Wow. Okay. Where are we going? This is so 80s. Oh my god. The TV radio and me. What a lyric. I wish. I love that. Why not go out? Mama's right. Wow. Was Whitney 17 when this came out? She was not 17. She was 20-something, I think. Good old Angie. Okay. Oh. She found him. She found him. You did find him, Whitney. For me. Okay. Yeah. Someone for me. Someone for me. Someone. Oh no. Alright, keep going, Whitney. Someone for me. Someone. That's right. Okay. Oh my god. Someone. Oh my god. Okay. With this song, we do get some really interesting vocals from Whitney. A lot of very good, chest voice, falsetto notes. Well, falsettos for men. It's what, chest voice for women? I go, yeah, it's screwed up. But this song to me is kind of more of it's not a Whitney Houston song. Like, you cannot convince me that this is a Whitney Houston song. She sells it really well, but this to me does not scream Miss Houston. I can't. Oh my god. So basically, Whitney is sitting home alone. She's all alone, and her mom's like, hey, go out. And she's like, okay. And now she's gonna go into Angie's party, and she finds someone for me. And then once that happens, that's all she repeats is just someone for me. Somebody, someone for me. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fun. I really did. With it being released, how is this the second single? I'm really confused, because this to me was such a novelty that I can't say and sit here and be like, wow, this was robbed. You know what I mean? For it just being released in the UK, I find that a very interesting thing to happen. Let me see here what it says in Genius. It appeared as a B-side. So it was a B-side to Thinking About You, but also, again, released in the UK. So, interesting piece. I can say that for sure. Not a Whitney Houston song, but it did manage to make me smile. So, I'll give it a like, because it made me smile. Track number 4, we have an absolute classic. We have Savin' All My Love For You, which needs no introduction, so here we go. Which is so weird to think that this comes right after Someone For Me. What a weird what?
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I try to resist being last on your list. But no other name's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you.
I love how I literally don't need the lyrics for this. Who doesn't know this piece?
It's not very easy living all alone. You used to tell me we'd run away together. Love gives you the right to be free. 'cause tonight is the night.
Yes, it is.
For feeling alright, we'll be making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you. No,
Oh, no, not yet.
other woman is gonna love you more. 'Cause
Tonight is the night.
that I'm feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love. Yeah, I'm saving all my loving. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you.
Okay, so with Saving All My Love for You, there's one thing I reminded myself of when I looked through this halfway through, because I thought it was, because I know one of the later songs we tackle, which is an iconic song, is a cover. Turns out this one, and I thought it was, is a cover too, originally recorded by Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. In 1978. So Whitney then, took it and elevated it to a whole new level. One of the most interesting things I find about this song, and I don't think this was how I was introduced to it. I don't remember exactly how I was introduced to it, but on Idina Menzel, she's on this wall, she's right behind me right here, the voice of Elsa and, Wicked and all that good stuff, sings this in one of her CDs, I forget which one, and basically she talks about how when she used to be a wedding singer that this was one of the most commonly asked songs to be sung at a wedding, which makes zero to no sense because it's a song about infidelity, which if you're gonna get married, maybe not the best choice. For your dance, but this song is just so beautiful. The way Whitney absolutely slays the scene singing it, and the fact that it's so simple. There isn't a whole lot going on. It's just perfect. I am amazed that this was their 6th choice for a single. Oh gosh, that's weird. But it hit #1, so who cares? And it also won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Performance when pop vocal actually meant a vocal, unlike Della Peep. So, lovely, amazing, iconic, beautiful. Track #5, we have our first song that wasn't a single, the one of two, which is also interesting, the two that aren't singles. It's called Nobody Loves Me Like You Do, and it is a duet with Jermaine Jackson. So here we go. We love an 80s power ballad. I have great feelings for this one.
Like a candle burning bright.
That's you, Whitney, always burning bright.
Love is glowing in your eyes.
Aw, that's a pretty image.
A flame to light our way.
Like a leaf upon the wind.
Like a leaf upon the wind. What an image.
I could find no place to land. I dreamed the hours away.
What if I never met you? Where would I be right now? Funny how life just falls in place somehow.
You touch my heart in places
That I never even knew.
'cause
Nobody loves me like
you do.
oh, and with no rhyme.
With no rhyme.
A dancer out of time.
That's so funny reading this.
Now there's you. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me like you do. Nobody loves me like you do.
Okay, so in terms of an 80s power ballad, this one does feel very paint by the numbers for me. I don't know if it'll go down in the history of the greatest of the 80s duet power ballads, But because we have Whitney Houston, we have Jermaine Jackson, iconic, two iconic, very gifted voice people. It's really good. And I'd be curious to hear this original version with, what was it, Anne Murray and Dave Loggins. What is it? Let me see something real quick here. Does it have its own Wikipedia page that I can click on and see what the original was? So yeah, that makes sense. So according to this, the original version is more country oriented, which I wonder how that would sound with this, because it works well with the adult contemporary way they're doing it here. I'd have to hear it, but I did like it. I just don't think it's going to go down as one of the greatest duet ballads ever made, you know what I mean? But pretty good. Track number 6 is another one that, again, needs no introduction. This is How Will I Know, a song I love so much, a song that I own on a 7-inch vinyl single. So if that tells you anything, that should. What's the B-side of this? Someone for Me. That's interesting. That's funny. That's the B-side. I wonder if it's the edit for Someone for Me. I don't know. But interesting. So without further ado, this is How Will I Know, which we know. Gotta make sure this is turned up all the way for How Will I Know, obviously. I love how these boots that she's wearing on here look like the ones that Dorothy would wear in the Golden Girls. I love it. Here we go. Here we go. That is the iconic, amazing, beautiful How Will I Know, which pictured here. This is a song that I just love so much. So we all know how, I Want to Dance with Somebody is Whitney's, big dance hit, and that's the one everybody knows. This one people know too, but I feel not as much anymore. And to me, this song will always have a spot in my heart over I Want to Dance with Somebody. It's just so beautiful, so fun. Just the thought of like, how will I know it's a celebration? How is she going to know if this guy loves her or not? Who knows? It's such a beautiful song. Whitney does so well with it, which is funny to me because like the two more, because Thinking About You really isn't up-tempo, but like Someone for Me, it's amazing how juvenile Someone for Me seems compared to How Will I Know on the same album. But it's so fun, iconic, amazing, so good. Track number 7, we do have another song I know, All at Once, which was the 5th single, which hit number 2 in Belgium. So here we go. This song is so sad. Woo.
All at once, I finally took a moment and I realized that you're not coming back. And it finally hit me all at once, all at once. And all my dreams were shattered all at once. Ever since I met you, you're the only love I know. And I can't forget used to greet me right in someone else's day. She took your smile away and left me with just memories all at once. Ever since I met you, you're the only love I've known. All at once, I'm drifting on a lonely sea, wishing you'd come back to me. And it hurts me more than you know, so much more than it shows. All at once, all at once, I'm drifting on a lonely sea, wishing you'd come back to me.
Okay, that was All at Once, and I had to look up something because it's astounding to me that they did not release this truly as a single in America. Now, from what I'm reading, it says that it was a single in several European countries as well as Japan. However, it was not released in North America, but did receive steady radio airplay on pop and R&B soul stations, which makes sense because I feel like a lot of people still do know this one. Now, granted, obviously back in this day, people were actually paying and buying people's albums, so they would listen to things, not just stream it. So that makes sense that it's still very well remembered, but it's a shame that we don't have like a number 2 or a number 1 title attached to this because it's so good. This is a song that I felt very much in my life. I used to have a friend who was very much into Whitney Houston, more than I was. He was very Whitney, I was very Celine, and we had a very, 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 very bad falling out. And I do remember at the time I was listening to the soundtrack, well, not the cast recording for the Bodyguard musical, and this song is in there, and it just, it hit me then. It was hitting me a little bit right now. I also love how in this single cover for this one, and as well as one of the other ones, she's just with a horse. How cute. We love it. That's what I think of when I think of this song, a horse. But yeah, this one is a tearjerker, and it's a shame that it was not an official single in America. Track number 8, Take Good Care of My Heart, which is the second non-single, one of the only 2 non-singles, and coincidentally also a duet with Jermaine Jackson. She said, let's do 2, Jermaine. Okay, so this one's more upbeat. They said we'll do a down-tempo and an up-tempo. Well, then again, this is more mid-tempo right now, but still more upbeat than the last one.
I never thought I'd feel it, but your touch was all it took. Take good care of my heart. Take good care of my heart. Baby, you're the first to take it. You're the only one who can bring it. I love you more than I should. I've waited for your love forever. You're the one to take care of my heart.
That sounds so 80s.
One I needed most when my love was on the line.
You felt that.
I'm so glad you gave me yours when I gave you mine. So take good care of my heart. Take good care of my heart. Baby, you're the first to take it. Good care of my heart. Take good care of my heart. Baby, you're the first to take it. And you're the only one who can break it. I love you more than I should. But it keeps me feeling so good. It keeps me feeling so. I've waited for your love forever. You're the one to take good care of my heart. Take good care of my heart.
This I find interesting. So I was listening to this song, and I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this one as much as I think I would like to. So I was just looking around on Genius and looking at it. Turns out this song was not originally recorded for this album. It appears on Jermaine's album, which is just called Jermaine Jackson. Well, released internationally as Dynamite. It was originally on this album, and then I guess they just tacked it on for the Whitney Houston album. I didn't like it. It didn't, that's it. So if you look here, according to the genres that Let me see right here. So Whitney's genre of this album is classified as pop, pop soul, and R&B, whereas Jermaine's album is R&B, new wave, and synth pop. And I hear that's what that makes it more sense now. I'm hearing a little more new wave and the synth in there, and that doesn't seem to fit in as much with the rest of the album. Now, granted, the other one song, which had like I think maybe a few synths in it, was the what was it called? I gotta get back to the page. Thinking About You. No, not Thinking About. Yeah, Thinking About You. But I don't know, this one just didn't fit for me. But I bet it probably fits really well on his album, because it's a good song, because they both sounded great, but it didn't fit for me quite here. Okay, track number 9, again, is one that needs no introduction, one that I'm just gonna start listening to. This is The Greatest Love of All, which I love. How can you not? I believe the children are our future.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be, and so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. In
Okay, that is The Greatest Love of All. Easily, probably one of the first Whitney Houston songs I was into. As I mentioned a little bit, I was really into Celine, so you can imagine it was like candy to me hearing Celine Dion's rendition of The Greatest Love of All when Whitney passed. Well, that wasn't the candy part, but hearing Celine sing it was. And the way she starts off, she's like, "Thank you so much. I saw this girl on the TV, only a few years older than me, sing these words." And then she's like, "A few stolen moments." And then she's like, "Whitney, I can't sing it like you can, but if I may." And it's just, oh my god, it's so Celine. So I will say I always will hold a special place in my heart for the Celine Dion version of The Greatest Love of All. But I mean, obviously Whitney's is iconic. This song is so beautiful. Again, it's another case of a cover. Originally it was by George Benson from 1977. So they did really good at turning some of these 70s tunes into 80s power ballads, that is for sure. It's iconic, amazing, beautiful. I will say, now that I've gotten a little older, there are some lyrics that I don't enjoy. Like the first line right away, "I believe the children are our future, I hate children with a burning passion. I don't want to hear about them. Ugh. As I've gotten older, I really don't like those lyrics as much anymore. But it's still such a beautiful song, but don't care about the kids. That's all I gotta say. Track number 10, Hold Me, which is the final track of the album, and it is a duet with Teddy, and I love his last name, Pendergrass. So here we go. And this one is 6 minutes, the longest one on the album.
I'll hold you and touch you and make you my woman.
Okay.
I'll give you my love. with sweet surrender.
I like his voice. It's very honest.
Tonight our hearts will beat as one.
Pure and simple honesty. Hold me in your arms
Aww.
tonight.
Aww.
Fill my life with pleasure.
Oh, I like the low note there.
Let's not waste this day.
This kind of sounds like the greatest love of all, in a sense. Right here.
This moment's ours to treasure.
Treasure it.
Hold me in your arms tonight. But make it last forever.
Aw, this is cute.
I thank you for granted. Tonight the magic has begun.
Yes, it has.
So won't you hold me and touch me? Make me your woman tonight.
There's something in your eyes I see.
Let's not waste this precious time.
This is so good.
This moment's ours to treasure. Hold me in your arms tonight. We'll make it
I'll hold you and touch you, make you my woman tonight.
Hold me in your arms tonight. Fill my life.
There's something in your eyes I see.
Let's not waste this precious time. This moment's ours to treasure. Hold me in your arms tonight, baby. We'll make it last forever. This precious time. This moment's ours to treasure. Hold me in your arms tonight, baby. We'll make it last forever.
Okay, that was Hold Me, which was the duet with Teddy Pendergrass. And I can't lie, out of the songs I didn't know, this actually might be my favorite. Something about this, there was a certain lyric and I was like, that perfectly describes, oh yeah, let's not waste this precious time. That is exactly what this song sounded like to me. It was so precious. The way that their two voices were just so gentle. It was, oh my God, this was absolute heaven. And now what I find interesting is that this was the first single, but it turns out that this was originally on Teddy's album first, which came out, the single was released in May of '84, and then Someone For Me, which was the second single, was released in January of '85, so almost over 6 months after this. So in a weird way, it is the lead single, but also not. I mean, I guess technically the lead single would be Thinking About You, which is a strange choice in itself too. But whoa, this was absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, they sound so beautiful. And then I was like, I wonder what, because I'm not familiar with Teddy. And I went to his Wikipedia page and I was like, what's he up to? And sadly, he passed away in 2010. And I'm like, well, that just, it makes the song even sadder to listen to. But, he was fantastic. Yes, Teddy. I loved them both. That was gorgeous. Gentle, precious, everything you want to call it, and a great way to close out the album. And again, it was 6 minutes, and that could have gone on for 12, and I would have been thrilled. It was that beautiful. Yes. I love this as a single. I don't know if I love it as technically the lead single, but it's technically not, so it's like hard, but what a piece. Okay, guys, we just finished listening to Whitney Houston's debut studio album, Whitney Houston. And what I have to say is, what a great album. I think I see this as more of a good collection of singles than versus a nice cohesive album, because there are a few outliers in this piece, but I mean, what an introduction to the world. I mean, we have 3 #1 hits on the Hot 100, which is just astounding, and a lot of other very good, interesting tracks. So out of the singles of which I knew, so let me pull this up and make sure I got it correctly. You Give Good Love to Me, Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, All at Once, Greatest Love of All, iconic, amazing. They're gonna be legendary for years after this, and they're gonna be still some of the greatest songs ever performed and written by a female artist. That's all you can say. I mean, amazing, great. So in terms of the songs I didn't know, if we go down, Thinking About You, which again, the third single, it's an interesting piece. It's a little spooky in some areas of it, but I think at the end of the day, it's fun. Someone for Me, the third song, which was also the second single, feels like it should have been a B-side. I don't see its place on this album as warranted. It feels very odd. Well, here's the weird thing, okay, is that so Whitney is in her early 20s, which is very young, younger than I am at the moment. And what's interesting to me is that when we talk about singers from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then maybe early 2000s, they always sound like full-grown women that have lived amazing, incredible lives. Like, they sound like adults, whereas the singers of today sound like processed children. So it's really interesting to me to hear this woman, who at least sounds like a woman, singing a song so juvenile. It's fun, but it doesn't click as much as I think I would like it to. So I still like it though, so I'll give it a few re-listens, but it's like odd because I'm like, Whitney, you sound like you are the greatest vocalist who ever lived, and yet you're singing a song that could go to a child, I feel. So, I don't know, that one was a little off to me, but I'll listen to it a few more times. Nobody Loves Me Like You Do with Jermaine Jackson, the country turned R&B 80s power ballad, is good. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to go down in history of the greatest power ballads ever made, but it was nice, it was fun, it was cute. Take Good Care of My Heart, I could have done without that on the album. I didn't feel like it fit very well. Knowing that it's on his album, that makes more sense to me, and I feel it belongs there. I don't think it belongs quite here, but I get they were trying to, push Whitney out there, so I get the choice. Don't agree with it fully, though, at least in the context of 2022. Now, when it comes to Hold Me, now that to me is the best of the album tracks. Whitney and Teddy sound absolutely gorgeous and divine together. It was so gentle. 6 minutes of pure absolute heaven. Again, it's kind of weird that it's the first single and it hit number 46. It should have hit higher than 46 if you ask me, but I guess it was too good for the people. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved their chemistry together. Teddy and Whitney just sounded lovely, and I cannot wait to listen to that one again. So that is Whitney's debut album. What do you guys think of this album? Let me know in the comments below. As always, do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha, Twitter at SalSaysStuff, and TikTok at SalRocha1. I will see you next weekend. We are going to be tackling 2 albums. It'll be basically in the month of February. It'll be 1, 2, 1, 2. So basically next weekend you will get, Whitney Houston, and I believe I'm Your Baby Tonight, and then I believe My Love Is Your Love, and no, just My Love Is Your Love, and then the final weekend will be just Whitney and I Look to You. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Hopefully you find someone out there for you, and I hope I saved enough love for all of you. So have a great day. Bye.